Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to
From across the pond
It's our very first episode.
of our very new podcast.
Are you excited?
Yeah, excited a bit.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and you're not nervous at all. First ever podcast you're
Not
doing.
really.
Yeah.
No one's gonna listen to it.
Ready to bust it out. So, should we introduce ourselves quickly?
Who are you?
So, my name is Ben. I'm in my late 20s. I probably need to call it. Born and bred in the Isle of Britain.
The Isle of Britain.
Yeah,
I'm Melissa. I'm Ben's girlfriend. He's my boyfriend. I am not from the Isle of Britain. I am from the great United States of America.
Great, interesting choice of words.
I've lived in the UK for 6 years, and we've been together for how long? Long enough.
Nearly 4 years.
Nearly
Coming
4
up in a month and a bit.
The countdown is on.
So, after a while in lockdown, we thought this was the time to start a little podcast. I think...
I've wanted to do it forever.
Yeah. I am fully cajoled, roped into this. But yeah, we're going to discuss...
Everything.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Probably not everything. I think we must have some stuff that's off limit to the pod. I don't know. We'll see. If we get questions from our, at the moment, fictional audience, we might answer them, we might not. We'll choose where the line is. Yeah, we're going to chat about kind of all sorts of different stuff, our kind of lives together in London, some kind of funny quirks we see from US, UK culture, some differences, and anything kind of random that pops into our head, really. Anything at all.
As you said, we're in lockdown right now.
Yeah.
Lockdown 2.0.
How are you finding it? What have been your last couple of weeks like for you? What have been the highlights?
I love lockdown, I'm not going to lie. I think it is so great. I enjoy having a reason not to leave the house. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Great.
I really, really like it. I like getting up early and having my mornings to do whatever I want and not having to ride my bike into work, not having to get onto the tube to see other germy people. It's great. I love it. I can wear the same leggings 3 days in a row and nobody knows. I can do a workout at lunchtime. It's great.
Yeah.
What about you?
Work in our bed.
Ew. Sounds gross.
You enjoy that?
No. I don't do that. I'm a true professional. I always get out of bed for working from home.
I've also just realised work from bed makes you sound a bit like you're running a prostitution racket. And to be clear, that's not what I'm implying.
Why would you even say that?
How do I find it? Yeah, it's been all right, really. Yeah, quite enjoying it.
What are the highlights of Lockdown 2.0 for you?
International rugby's back on our screens, and to be honest, I'm happy if that's on the TV. Certain people are like, no, I want to be in the pub to watch sport. Like, I'm happy sat by myself watching it and getting way too into it and getting way too angry when Wales lose. And
you were so angry yesterday.
No, you're very nice at comforting me though.
But I had specifically told you to be kind of quiet if you could, because I was going to go and meditate in our next room, because I try and meditate every couple of months and it never works well. But I was actually maybe 10, 15 minutes into a really good YouTube track, whatever. And I just heard you slamming your fists on the table, or I don't know what you were doing, but it was so loud and I was like, ah!
Yeah.
Break the focus.
I was very angry. I was shouting.
Why were you so angry? What
Curse
happened?
Just Wales were just not playing well. For the uninitiated listening, Wales have been were quite average at rugby for the last probably 20 years. In the last 10 years, we've actually been really good. And now we've got a new coach and we're really bang average again, and that's really upsetting me. And it's just not ideal.
There's people dying, Kim.
Yeah, like my dreams of a Welsh rugby winning the World Cup. You can tell from my thick accent that I'm Welsh. No, that's a joke.
It's funny, actually, both of our families are Welsh, even though I grew up in America.
Yeah, none of our accents would give it away, but...
Shout out to Porthcawl.
Field of Dreams. Shout out from me to Aberystwyth.
Lol.
It's good fun. It's good fun. Although that's not the worst meditation wake up you've had, is it?
What do you mean?
Pretty recently, I'm fairly sure you had a worse meditation experience.
Yeah, so whenever I try my little meditation experiments, I listen to, like I said, YouTube tracks, and there are some really good ones on there that I love. And a couple weeks ago, I was meditating on a yoga mat on the floor in our bedroom, and I don't remember where you were. But I had my AirPods in, I had like my Do Not Disturb on my phone, and I took my Apple Watch off. I was just like really ready to zen
That's
out.
a lot of Apple kit you got going on there. Absolutely pimped.
Please sponsor us. But anyways.
We probably have an audience of at least a person.
My mom, maybe. Not after that, like working from bed comment.
Yeah, I think we've lost our only audience member from me being crass.
But anyways, I had like really like ready to tune out, whatever, and I put on like an hour and 15-minute long one or something. Like I was committing to this, and to be honest, I like really I was deep in the flow, or I don't know what the meditation terms are, but because I was listening to a YouTube video, for some reason, like it gets overridden, I guess, when people call you. So my older sister called my phone, and she is in my phone just as 3 poop emojis. So my AirPods just decided to go, smiling pile of poo, smiling pile of poo, smiling pile of poo, which is like the last thing you really want to hear when you are, as I said, in the flow of meditation.
Not very zen.
Yeah, I couldn't go back to it after that. So thanks, Christina. Thanks for calling me.
Yeah. What else have we been doing in lockdown? I'm doing a Movember attempt for the first time ever. That's exciting. Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm sure most people are. Movember's where you attempt to grow a moustache through November.
But you didn't get rid of your moustache.
Well, so I usually have a bit of a beard going on.
A lot of a beard.
Well, a lot of a beard, but my tash game has never been strong, even with the beard. I think my beard did wonders for the perception of my tash.
Yeah.
So I decided to just shave the beard off, leave the tash behind, raise a bit of money for charity. I mean, it's ropey at best.
It's the worst thing you've ever done.
I've raised a bit of money, but I mean,
I'll give you money later.
I mean, I've got clients at work are calling me out on it over Zoom calls and everything.
It's so pokey.
Yeah.
Like, it's sharp.
Well, no,
like,
that's not.
Anytime you give me a hug or something.
But that's not the tash. That's where I shave my beard off.
It's horrible. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. Please.
Not again. Well, I've raised money for a good cause at least. I can feel better about that.
Okay.
That I have this horrible kind of mangy fluff on my lip. That's for anyone who has tried to grow a moustache before. Some people grow them very naturally.
Same.
Mine comes in, but it comes in almost like multicoloured. Some of it's quite blonde,
It's
some
really
of it's quite
light.
dark.
Yeah.
And so it looks like I've just got holes. There is hair there, I promise. But
So gross.
It's in certain lights it looks like I've got just like a tiny like black bit of hair at one part of my tash, and then other lights it looks slightly better, but still probably not quite what I had in mind.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Sure. As you said, you're doing it for a good cause.
Yeah, and there's only a couple more weeks, and then I can. Well, do I shave it off? Do I grow my beard back? I don't know.
You don't shave off your mustache.
No,
I
don't think
never do that.
I don't think it'll ever grow back. Actually, it's so slow. My beard will grow. I look Amish.
Alright, this is a lot of beard chat.
This is a lot of beard chat. Should we move on?
No, you got to talk about your lockdown activities.
Okay,
I'm going to talk about mine.
Yeah, what are you getting up to?
What have I
how are you
done?
keeping busy?
Well, I have. Well, not this lockdown, but first lockdown, I got really into baking bread, which was super fun, and bagels, which is like the highlight of my life. Sourdough starter is the way to go. It's great.
With those people. We have
I'm
sourdough
that
starters.
person. You don't do anything with the starter. It is not yours at all.
I am exceptionally good at taste testing.
Although you did buy the jar that it lives in.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. We went to like the big Sainsbury's once. Is it Sainsbury's or Tesco?
Oh, what, the big... Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I don't remember doing
Yeah,
that.
you bought it.
Oh, well, I'll have it. I'll claim that.
It's your
I'm,
child.
yeah, absolutely integral to the whole sourdough experience.
Well, the first time around in lockdown 1.0,
Lock point.
but do you
down.
remember how there was like that whole rush on flour and everything, and
Yeah.
you literally couldn't find it for the life of you? So
Yeah, you kept sending me to the shops, and I'd be like,
well, when we were allowed to, the first couple of days, like when it was pending still, but when lockdown actually hit and we really couldn't find it, and I decided that was my project for lockdown. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to make bread. I'm going to get a sourdough starter, which I did from a neighbor I've never met, which is normal. Where did I end up buying my flour from?
I mean, you went big. I'll give you that. You went big.
I don't do anything half-assed. Anyway, I had seen on Facebook that this really lovely woman was advertising in like one of the local Facebook groups that her Italian restaurant like supply company obviously didn't really have any of their regular orders going through because all the restaurants were closed. So she was opening it up to sell to the public. So I bought a humongous bag of flour. What was it, 25 kgs?
It was enormous.
It was great.
It was enormous.
It was amazing. We don't have any of it left. Everyone was like, oh, how's that going? How's that going? I'm like, we finished it like months ago. And now in Lockdown 2.0, I'm doing Joe Wick's 90-day plan to make up for Lockdown 1.
Are we calling it Lockdown 2.0, not Lockdown the sequel?
That's stupid.
The Deja Flu? The
Deja Flu.
The Sickened Coming?
Where are you coming up with these? Did you make those up or did you read them somewhere?
I'll not tell a lie. I was messaging a mate the other day and we were trying to come up with them. So
you are ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll give him credit for the Deja Flu. I'm not that funny.
So bad. Oh my god, I can't deal with that. Yikes. Oh well. So basically, we're living the dream in lockdown, loving life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Haven't killed each other yet, so that's good.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I mean, there's time. We've got at least 2 more weeks of lockdown to go.
Do you think it's 2 weeks?
I said at least. That's a big at least.
It's going to be 2 weeks or longer.
Difficult to say.
Lol.
I'd like it to be 2 weeks, but then who knows?
Just in time to miss Thanksgiving.
I don't ask for much in life. I just want to be able to go to a pub, walk up to the bar. I don't want to be shown to a table. Just walk up to a bar, look at what beers they have on tap, make a decision then and there. All that I want. Maybe I bump into someone I know. Maybe we just chat. Maybe we just join their table without having to like do a big song and dance about it.
We've never done that.
That's because we don't have any friends, but that's why we need a podcast so we can have virtual friends instead.
Oh god. Lol.
I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
to be honest, I am really frustrated. Like I said, I don't mind lockdown, but I am kind of disappointed this year that we won't be able to have Thanksgiving because, as I said before, I've lived here for 6 years, and Ben and I moved into our flat at the end of last year, on New Year's Eve, in fact, and I was planning literally all year long to have a big Thanksgiving at our house and have our 2 friends come over. So
bolster it with some family to try and make us feel better.
Exactly.
They have to come.
Exactly. But now, as Ben said, we've got 2 weeks left of lockdown, which brings us to, I believe, the 3rd of December. It's supposed to be over, which just misses Thanksgiving. So that stinks. But what are we going to do? Have Thanksgiving on our own.
Yeah, I mean, still cook the same amount of food and absolutely devour it between the 2 of us.
You mean I'll be cooking all of the food?
I will go buy some pre-bought cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce like last time.
Yeah, big contributor. I can be in charge. I can be like the sommelier, maybe. Be in charge of booze.
No.
If you're drinking by then.
I'm not.
Well, you're being very restrained. You're doing a dry lockdown.
I don't know if it's dry lockdown, but it's definitely an experiment.
Yeah, interesting.
525. What is it?
What are you trying to sing a bit of Rent? Bust it out.
No.
Bust it out for the listeners.
Oh well, but it is funny to see, like, cause I'm in all these American expat groups on Facebook, and people keep posting, being like, "Oh, what's everyone doing for Thanksgiving?" And it's like, you better not be doing anything, cause we're in lockdown. there was some guy who was like, I want to do Thanksgiving for all my friends. And it's like, you can't. Stop it. Don't do it.
Yeah, unless you're literally going to, like, drop turkey off at their houses.
Where's the fun in that?
And to be honest, I have no interest in a Zoom Thanksgiving.
I have no interest in Zoom anymore.
I'm so done with Zoom.
It's like the worst.
I can't stress enough.
Do you remember during the first lockdown how we literally did 3 quizzes a week?
Yeah,
you know what?
I'm done with Zoom. I'm done with quizzes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My sister was saying that she wanted to start doing quizzes again on Sundays, and I was just like, not a chance. No way. I'm not even remotely.
It's just. It was fun, but like,
it's
I don't know.
Its time.
Yeah, it's not. I think also now that like we're so used to like talking all on Zoom for work and stuff like that, it's lost any sort of fun.
We don't use Zoom anymore for work. We use Teams, and it's so much better.
Oh, you're so sophisticated.
I don't know why, but
well,
I just like it a lot better.
Microsoft Teams, is it? Wow.
Dang, we fancy.
You're so fancy.
Lol.
So fancy. Cool. Well, shall we talk? Well, shall we talk? Shall we talk? I think we both did a bit of homework to come prepared with a certain US versus UK difference or quirk that we wanted to talk to the other one about.
Well, it's funny because I don't really know how qualified you are to comment on US UK differences, having only been to the US a couple of times.
Hey,
I'm pouring my tea.
Let's
spill the tea.
I've watched a lot.
I've
watched several US television shows. I imagine it's just like Friends, right, over there?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, do you want to bring yours up? Okay.
Yeah, tell me yours.
Okay. I've got a big one, and this is a big one.
Okay.
And it's very serious. And I think...
Oh, I bet it's not going to be serious at all.
It's like you're in my head. No, this is actually one I think is quite big, and I'm going to talk about public transport etiquette.
What?
Public transport etiquette.
We haven't been on public transport in like 9 months.
Yeah, it's still it's still a big one. And so, for anyone who is listening to this who doesn't know that much about the UK and the UK's
just spit it out.
Etiquette. Public transport is a silent place of reflection in the UK. You do not talk to anyone. You don't talk to strangers on public transport. You don't make eye contact. You sit in your space.
See, is this
and
really
you wait
limited
to arrive.
to public transport though? Like, I feel like this is British people in general. Just like, do not speak to anyone. Do not talk to anyone.
Yeah. So you don't talk to strangers. Yeah, you just don't strike up a conversation on the tube because you're like, oh, I get stuck in a conversation. It sounds awful. Like, I mean, I will genuinely, if I'm taking the tube or train to work, the reason I pretty much have a Kindle is so I have something to reliably look at, so I don't accidentally make eye contact with other people. So I don't want that awkward experience. So I think that's one. And the other thing is, even if you're on public transport with someone you know, in the UK, the etiquette is that your conversation is very hush-hush. Well, I feel like in the States, people just chat.
I mean,
more.
How many times have you actually been on public transportation in the US?
Oh, well, this I've
Never. I mean, honestly, people aren't just like jabbering nonstop on U.S. public transport, and that's my limited view from being on public transport in New York a bunch of times when I worked there. But like, it's not like people are just like on an episode of Glee or something, breaking out into song every other second.
So you're not saying the subway is. You're saying the subway is not one big flash mob.
No.
Well, I am going to be disappointed next time I go. No, but you said that before. You say it's weird that like no one talks.
No, I don't think it's weird that nobody talks. I think it's weird that if you say something to somebody near you and they don't respond, that is weird. And I think that's weird, like, no matter where you are. I've had that happen to me before. Like, I'll be on the tube and there'll be, like, a cute dog. And if I say something to the owner and they just blank you, it's so weird. That would be weird in America, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. But that's what I'm saying. No one has any interest in talking to you on the tube.
And don't get a dog. Like, what do you expect? I think that's just the most annoying thing. Because, like, anytime I see a dog, my brain automatically is like, oh my god, And I always say something to people. I'm like, your dog is the cutest, even though if it's not the cutest. And, like, when people just don't respond, why do you even have a dog then? If you're not going to, like, be super, super flattered, I guess, when somebody tells you how cute your little fur baby is, like, I don't get it.
Maybe they just want to enjoy having a dog. Maybe they
don't take it outside. Get a big yard. Keep it private.
And to be fair to the lads and ladies handling these dogs, you're not exactly reserved when you come up to them.
I don't usually go into. That's not fair. I usually just say, "Oh my god, your dog is so cute."
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I mean, what you're not tapping into there is the British sensibility of they don't want to talk to anyone in public.
Whatever.
They're like they don't know how to respond to that. Mm. We as a race of people are just awkward in general in social interactions.
Of people.
Is race the right term? Probably not.
As a country of people.
As a culture of people? I don't know.
Whatever. Some people get really excited about it. All the normal ones. Lol. Anyway, my biggest frustration with US-UK differences this week is so boring, but it is the most frustrating thing in the world, and that is that I cannot find these fucking, pens that I'm obsessed with. Anyone who has ever been to not been to the US, but anyone from the US will recognize a Pentel RSVP fine point pen. They're amazing. It sounds so ridiculous, I realize this, but that's because you've never ever used one. Is this
really a big issue in your life
right now?
Yes,
I'm not kidding. I've emailed customer service from Pentel in the UK saying, please, like, I will do anything. Like, I just need them. Like, how can I get them? And they're like, sorry, we don't sell them here. I'm like, yeah, thanks, I figured that out, but like, can you please like help me organize something?
But like,
and then I emailed customer service for Pentel in the US, and I was like, please, like, can we get them here? Is there any way? I'll pay for them. I don't care. But like, they were back being like, sorry, you'll have to contact customer service in the UK. And I'm like, I already did that.
I feel like this is less of a US. This is more of a youth. I mean,
no,
how much of your time are you spending thinking about pens?
You don't understand. You genuinely don't. They're the best pens in the world, and I'm so disappointed by the customer service from Pentel. So, please.
I don't think I've thought about what pen I'm going to write with.
You don't understand.
In like 15 years.
So when I first moved here, like 6 and a bit years ago, I went to Nepal and trekked to Everest Base Camp. So I brought like 2 suitcases and had 2 boxes of stuff mailed over. In those packages, luggage, whatever, I had maybe 10 blue ones, 10 black ones, and they've gotten me this far in my life. And now I'm on to like the last one and it only half works and it's horrible. And you can buy them on Amazon, but it's like 175 pounds or something for like 6, which, no, that's ridiculous. They're like $10 in the US.
I don't know why, but equally, I don't think I've bought a pen in over 5 years. I just use whatever nice branded pens my work give me.
Well, you're an amateur, I guess.
Well,
they're amazing.
Just always on brand.
If you know, you know. It's so frustrating. There are like very specific items that you can't get here that you can get in the US that just like you'll never understand, Ben.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some stuff the other way around.
Like what? What British things are like so amazing that like if we moved to America you'd really, really miss that you genuinely think we couldn't get there?
So they have like, because here, you know, you can find American stores. Is that like equal in
No, I don't
US?
think
I can't imagine there's like a British sweet shop somewhere.
But like what British sweets are like, because I remember when I was little, anytime that my grandmother and my grandfather would come visit us from the UK in the US, they would bring Smarties. That's the only thing.
Smarties, pretty good.
I think I've had Smarties like once.
Do they sell Cadbury's in the US?
I think you can get your hands on it, but like everyone in America thinks American chocolate's way better.
Oh, they're lying. Apart from Reese's, I'll give you Reese's.
Yeah.
But they now sell those here, so.
Got a problem when it comes to Reese's. Mini Reese's are the best thing in the world.
I don't know,
Fight me.
Fight me. Yeah, this is how we fall out fighting over Reese. No, I agree with you on Reese's. Reese's pretty good. I don't know, some like traditional, like, could you get a nice, because your dad is British, living in the US, and he says he struggles to get good curry. Our curry's better here.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
I had curry really, like, properly.
Yeah, like proper
Actually, that's
Indian.
not true. I went to one place in New
Well,
York that had it once.
I say proper Indian, like
Once.
proper like British version of Indian, which is like our own invention of Indian.
To be honest, it's really funny because when I was growing up, I think the most, like, quote, exotic food that I had ever really had was, like, Chinese or curry. Or not curry, sorry, sushi.
Yeah.
And, like, we had a couple of Chinese places in our town or close by. And when we got this Japanese place that did sushi, it was the best ever. I've got a funny story I'll tell you about that one time when I worked there for... Actually, I worked there twice, each for, like, a day. It was never good.
Were you, like, trying to make the sushi?
No. There was one time...
I think like a Benihana flipping stuff and doing top pocket.
No, but I had a friend who, like, worked there normally. Like, she worked there... I don't know, evenings, weekends, whatever.
Okay.
And I remember we were at, like, a soccer game or something, and she was like, oh, God, I can't work today. Like, can someone cover for me? And I was like, I mean, I have no experience, but, like, sure. She was, like, a hostess or something. So we had been, like, hanging out in town after our soccer game, and I was just going to go straight from that. And all that I had, it was, like, in the summer, so I was wearing a sweatshirt with nothing underneath it, just like a bra and shorts or something. So I get to this random Japanese restaurant, and like the woman who was like running the show there, she like knew I was coming, whatever, and gives me a kimono to wear. And I'm like, oh, cool, like this is great. She's like, okay, just like go in the other room and like put it on. And like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just was like, oh, I can't like not wear my sweatshirt. So I wore my like sweatshirt under this kimono in the middle of the summer.
So authentic.
Yeah, I just looked like I had like a mess. I was like a football player. I was just like jacked as shit because it was a hoodie. So I just had like this massive
like lump. Looked like one of like an old
the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Oh my god, it was so. And I think. I can't remember. Somebody came to like
Quasimodo at the door.
Exactly.
Come in.
Playing hostess at this random Japanese restaurant, like super authentic, obviously. Yeah. And I don't remember, but I remember somebody I knew came in to like eat with their family or something. I just remember being like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Honestly.
Oh, just so like shuffling over to them with this big like hump on your back.
Yeah, it was so bad. And like I said, it was just one night that I was covering for them. And then a couple of years later, like after I got my license, someone also was like, oh, they have a job going at this restaurant. Like, does anybody want to take it? And it was like to help them deliver food. And I was like, oh, I just got my license. This will be cool. And I don't know, I delivered for them for like a night, and then at the end of the night, they like literally gave me like some sushi, and like, I don't think it was like, I just got to keep my tips. So they didn't actually pay me anything, really. Like, I spent way more on gas. I don't really remember what happened, except my mom was like, you've got to be joking. And I remember she like marched me back in there, and she was like, this isn't okay. And I don't know, they paid me like $20 or something. It was a mess. I've never went back.
Mum to the rescue.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. That was cool. The sushi was excellent, though.
Yeah, did you at least get some like free sushi as you went?
I said that.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I got like California rolls too.
Well,
like nothing fancy.
I was listening.
It's like California rolls. Nothing super exciting. So they really made out well on that one.
Yeah.
So, you have...
Sorry, cutting you off. No, you go.
You said you wanted to give everyone a joke of the week.
Don't we have a fun fact of the week first?
No, I don't have a fun fact of the week.
You don't have a fun fact of the week?
Give us yours.
Fun fact of the week. Okay. It's not that fun.
Yeah, you really like...
It's, so, talking also about perceptions in the UK, the perception is London is a very wet and rainy place. Did you know there is less rainfall in London annually than New York and even Sydney in Australia? It's actually a drier city.
Sydney is a drier Sydney?
No.
Sydney?
Sydney is a drier Sydney than Sydney. No, London is a drier city than Sydney.
Yeah, but I think the problem is here, all winter long, not all winter long, but like most of the winter, it is like like dark and like damp and cold. Whereas if you're in New York in the winter, yeah, it's still freezing, but you actually get like snow, which is just a revolutionary concept as opposed to like just wet, damp,
Well, yeah,
yucky.
we just get like drizzle all day.
Yeah, it's just kind of grim.
Yeah.
And snow is so nice, at least like while it's happening and for like
But
10 minutes after it stops before it turns into like.
if you were just to like stand on a street in London and New York for a whole year, you'd technically be less wet in London.
What do you mean?
There'd be less rainfall on you. Total.
You are ridiculous.
Less precipitation.
That's an interesting fact.
Yeah. So, actually, it's basically like the Bahamas, is what I'm saying.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, we live near the Thames. It's the English Riviera. It's
wow.
Not. It's
I'm
not.
really sorry if you feel that way. So that's nice.
Do you have a fact?
Do I have a fact? I'm like blanking hardcore facts. Like, do I know anything?
Yeah, I feel like
anything?
the brief is anything at all. So I mean, you're.
My fun fact is that my favorite painter, Turner, used to live just down the road from where we are. And I never knew that. And we've lived here for almost a year. And we walked by his house the other day, and it was so cool.
What makes him your favorite painter?
Does that really matter? He's just great. He's
just great.
No, I don't know.
I'm so glad that art history courses you did at university weren't wasted.
Well, I was just going to say.
He's just great.
All right. No need to be rude. I'm allowed to have a favorite painter.
I wouldn't. I was just hoping you could articulate it a bit more clearly.
That's a bit personal. How rude.
Wow. Okay, I didn't realize this was a touchy subject.
You're ruining our podcast. Honestly.
In the first episode, and it is ruined.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
Let me live my life, all right?
Yeah. Well,
all right, what's your joke of the week, Ben? Because you're super
joke of the
funny.
week.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to a bit of a disclaimer. These jokes are not my own. I'm not that original. This is all stuff
Oh my God,
I've
just tell the
heard
joke.
elsewhere. So, okay, so let's imagine there is an elderly couple. They're probably like, let's start with them in their like they're 70-ish. Let's call them Bob and Margaret for the sake of this. And so every year, Bob and Margaret go to this local fair that comes to them, and they go, and one year they go there, and there's this helicopter experience there, and the helicopter takes people up, flies them around, looks fantastic. Now, Bob has always wanted to fly in a helicopter, so he goes to Margaret, look, helicopter experience, it's one of my dreams, like, can we please go on the helicopter experience? She goes, how much is it? And he goes, let's look, it's £50. She goes, £50 is £50. So, off they go, they don't do the helicopter experience. 5 years later, they go back to the same fair again.
£50 is cheap, isn't it? And why are they doing helicopter stuff at a fair?
Like I said, didn't write the joke. So they come back 5 years later, and the helicopter experience, lo and behold, is there again. And Bob goes, look, Margaret, look, it's been 5 years. Like, we're getting up there. We're both like 75 now. Can we please just ride this helicopter? And she goes, how much is it? Is it still £50? He goes, yeah, it's £50. She goes, £50 is £50. Off they go. Don't do it. Another 5 years passes.
Oh my God, get to the point.
They're both 80. And they go to the fair, and guess who's there? You're never going to guess what's there.
Bob Marley.
No, Bob is there, but he's with his wife Margaret, and he's not Bob Marley, he's different
Alright, just
Bob.
get to the point. This is the longest joke ever.
And the helicopter experience is there. Is what I thought you were going to say when I said guess what's there.
You said guess who's there.
Oh, well, the helicopter man. Let's call him Phil for the purpose of this conversation.
Oh my God, this is the worst joke ever.
So they go up to it, and Bob goes, look, Margaret, oh my God, the helicopter experience is back. Look, we're both 80 now. I don't know how long we've got left. No, they were 75
All right,
before.
let's go.
And he goes, it's one of my dreams, lifelong dreams to kind of ride a helicopter. It looks so cool. Can we please just do it? Look, we'll find a way to fund it. And she goes, is it still £50? He goes, yes. And she goes, £50 is £50. And Phil, overhearing this conversation for the first time in the 10 years they've been coming to the fair, goes, "Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry, I couldn't help but overhear and hear that it's kind of one of your lifelong dreams. Look, I'd be more than happy to cut a deal with you. I will take you up on a helicopter ride, and it'll be free if you are completely silent for the whole thing. If you utter a single sound, you have to pay the £50. So Bob looks at Margaret and goes, I think we can do that. Should we do it? We'll just stay completely silent. She goes, okay, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. So they jump in the helicopter and up they go and they take off and they are zooming around. They're doing all sorts of flips and tricks and
flips in a helicopter.
Flip around
I don't think so.
And like banking hard, and the pilot is doing everything he possibly can to make them cry out an exclamation or something like that, and he's doing it, and they do the whole experience, and they come back to the ground, and he looks over to Bob and says, "Look, Bob, fair play. You guys are really on it. I really thought you were going to make a sound." And Bob goes, "Yeah, I thought I was going to make a sound when Margaret fell out too, but £50 is £50.
It's ridiculous. It's not really a joke, is it? It's just like a really bad story.
Was the payoff there, do you reckon, for that whole joke?
I sure hope that our 0 listeners enjoyed that joke.
Yeah, there will be more of those. Some might be shorter, some might be longer. Who knows?
No, we're gonna have to cut you off next time if it gets too long.
Or should we sign off?
Sign off. Is
Should we sign
that
off?
the lingo?
Yeah, probably. Who knows? We're
Well, if you've made it this far,
yeah,
congrats.
If you've lasted, if you enjoyed the tale of Bob and Margaret, we will be recording another one, so please listen out for it. If you do have anything you would like us to discuss,
anything that you want us to comment on, any differences or funny things about the US, the UK.
Anything about Anglo-American differences.
You love that phrase.
Anglo-American, it's the phrase. It's the lingo. I'm getting down with it. Down with the kids.
I hope not.
Yeah. Anything you want us to discuss, let us know. You can email us at
across the pond.
No.
So, oh my god, what is it? From across the pond pod @gmail.com.
Yeah. Depending on the nature of the question, we may discuss it, we may not. We'll see how it goes.
Cool. It's been fun.
It's been real, people.
Bye.
Smiling pile of poo. Smiling pile of poo. Smiling pile of poo.